But when you look at year one, what does a successful year one under Shane Beamer look like for you? Again, from the outside perspective, nationally, if you will, whatever, what does a successful first year look like, whether it be record-wise, whether it be, the way South kind of looks when it takes the field this season? What does that look like for you?
Well, let me say one thing about Spurrier. So the thing about Spurrier was when you had him on the sideline, when he was at his best, you always felt like you had a chance.
Yep.
Because he's Steve Spurrier, and he's going to draw up the plays, even in the dirt, to give your offense a chance to score. So you always had that on your side. As far as success this year, I hear what you're saying about the 5 good wins, 7 losses. I still say 6 wins of any type. I mean,
right.
Eastern Illinois, East Carolina, Vanderbilt, the other
Troy would be the other non-conference.
That's 4, and then find 2 wins. You got to get to a bowl game, not just because whether you're going to the Weed Eater Bowl or what. It's that extra practice. It's those extra couple of weeks of practice that you have. It's the opportunity to have your name out on ESPN.
I would agree, Phil. That's the minimum expectation. I would certainly agree from a wins total perspective. That would be the success. If you can, it reminds me a lot. I'll tell you this, Phil. It reminds me a lot of Muschamps' first season in the sense of like getting to 6-6 that year was deemed a major success. I kind of view this year the same way.
The next year they won 9 games, and they beat Michigan in the bowl game. But they went to a bowl game that first year. They lost in overtime to South Florida.
Yeah.
They came back the next year, had a big year, and things look great. All
Oh,
gas, no brakes. I remember him saying that, all gas, no brakes, and everything looked great. And then they go to Charlotte. They played North Carolina. Should have won that game. Had Shi Smith open on the post, overthrew him. Would have been the winning touchdown. Probably shouldn't have been that close to begin with, but it did. And it was. And then you had whatever happened to Bentley, either on the last play or whatever. Maybe he kicked the trash can. Maybe he kicked the stadium. He did something to his foot. I was there in the post game, and none of us saw him limping or walking in a boot. Maybe it came up later on. Obviously, he was hurt, and he couldn't play anymore that season. And man, that just threw you for a loop. So it was all really, though. You think about it. That was a major turning point. And then they still made a bowl game that year. Remember, they went to the Belk Bowl.
Right. Yeah.
And they got shut out by Virginia. And then, it was pretty much all downhill after that. So I think in your first year, if you can manage a bowl trip, that is huge. I just think that's what the goal should be. Anything else above that is just icing on the cake. But man, 6 wins and get to a bowl, maybe even win a bowl game and go 7-6 minimum. Anything above that, then you got something to really celebrate. But that's a building block. That's what you build on. And then you've got some place to go recruiting with, and you really have a lot of energy going into off-season conditioning and workouts in 22.